the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, put this on your list of dumb things to avoid this week. My gosh, TikTok, another trend. Well, now there are influencers claiming that if you get a sunburn, it will help clear up all your acne. You won't get any more pimples. They're calling it sunburning. They say to just ditch the sunscreen because a sunburn will boost your immune system. One gal even lathered up her entire face with salt water so that her sunburn would set in faster. Okay, here's the deal. You will lose the top layer of your skin. Okay, you won't have any pimples for a while. I don't think it's going to get rid of acne for good. And your skin will age faster and it will be damaged. So, yeah, definitely a bad idea. You don't want to peel the burn. Yes. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And you are about ready to get more tech smarts, because let me tell you something. If you are not tech ahead in today's world, you will be tech left behind in the dust. And if you're a brand new listener to the Kim Komando Show, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And if you're already a listener, welcome back. And just a reminder, you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top stations throughout the United States. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for Komando with a K, of course. And you can also find the Kim Komando Show as a podcast. So just search for my last name in your favorite podcast player. And just a reminder that great sponsors help to make this show possible. And I always negotiate a money-saving deal with them just for you. So to see all the deals and to get all the special links that you need, just head over to komando.com/sponsors. Alrighty then, every single day, whether it's a work day, a weekend, a national holiday, you can always count on me to make sure that you know what's going on in the tech world. I mean, I scan, 35, 40 different websites. And here are the top 5 things that you need to know right now. And we're going to start with, how do you spell monopoly? No, not with an M, silly. It's Google. Yes, the biggest legal case big tech just lost. I don't know if you heard this, but a federal judge has ruled that Alphabet's Google broke the law and created an illegal monopoly with almost all online searches. And it did so repeatedly to maintain that monopoly. You see, a few years ago, it coughed up, oh my gosh, could you imagine? How much do you think we have in savings? $26 billion in a payoff scheme to make Google the default search engine on most smartphones. $26 billion. Wow. And since then, no one's had an honest chance to compete. So how do you fix the mess? Well, the most obvious is to make Google's parent company, Alphabet, sell off Google. But that may not be the best answer. You know, a new, smaller individual Google search engine will still have a monopoly for online searches. So the only way is to invalidate that illegal payoff and let smartphone manufacturers choose the best search engine that they want for their customers. But now with AI giving all the answers, online searches, let me tell you, they are just steadily decreasing. All right, moving on to number 2. Every major business in the world is racing to say, we are AI ready. Okay, but who's making all the money? It's not who you think. Now, let's go back in time. During the 1849 California gold rush, the only people guaranteed to make money were the merchants selling the equipment to pan for gold. Oh, and it happened again in 1896, the Alaska Klondike Gold Rush. And again in 2010 when everyone was mining crypto at home. You see, the people who make the most money sell the equipment. And today, it's the cloud infrastructure market. Giant data centers, billions of servers, untold miles of fiber lines. In all, the world spent $79 billion for this AI infrastructure in the last 3 months alone. Okay, look. No one really knows how to monetize AI yet, but to get AI filthy rich, you need to sell the AI hardware. That's the clue. All right, moving on to number 3. Wow, the president election is drawing near and hackers are finding ways to mess with your right to vote. And you can bet they're going to be exploiting every single loophole they can find. So imagine showing up to vote this November only to find out that your registration's been canceled. What? That could have easily been the case for voters all over Georgia, if not for one cybersecurity researcher. A guy by the name of Jason Parker was moving out of state, so he went to cancel his voter registration on Georgia's official voter registration cancellation website. So, like any cybersecurity pro, he said, I wonder what the source code looks like. That's when he discovered he could cancel without entering his driver's license or social security number. All he needed was his name, county, and birth date. And he tweaked the website's code just a bit. Basic HTML stuff. It was super simple. So if you knew anyone's basic information, you could have canceled their registration. So no matter where you live, make sure that you check your registration right now. Go to rockthevote.org. Once again, that's rockthevote.org. Just enter your info and confirm everything's all set up the right way. It's a great website, not affiliated with any political party, rockthevote.org. All right, moving on to number 4. When passengers believe that they've been mistreated by an airline, they take to social media and they post their story, and then the airline will swing into damage control and reach out. But you got to be careful. This summer, the bad guys are stalking social media for angry passengers. So when you post your nightmare, they spring into action saying, oh, we're customer service agents here to help you. When really they're just going to steal your booking confirmation number and then your credit card details. And sometimes they're sending distraught passengers to spoof websites. They look almost identical to the official airlines. And then they harvest your personal information, and then they steal your identity. Oh, gosh, it never stops, right? Law enforcement, even the FBI, are completely overwhelmed by cybercrime. So once you fall for the scam, the chance of recovering your lost money, zilch, zero. Your best defense, contact the airline directly. And finally, this. Oh, gosh, I don't know. I've seen a lot of tech products over the years, and this is probably one of the worst ones yet. It's a story of a brand new $99 AI product called Friend. It's a wearable necklace, but it's definitely not your friend. In fact, it's really super creepy. 21-year-old Abby Schiffman is a Harvard dropout. Now, a few years ago, he made news by creating this innovative website that tracked COVID. Now, his new product has been called a life coach, wearable mom, your best friend. Okay, so Schiffman raised $2.5 million to get Friend up and running, but he blew through almost all of it to buy just the website, friend.com. Now, Friend isn't like Siri or Alexa where you ask a question and get an answer. Friend listens to everything all the time. It makes comments and suggestions. Like, boy, that conversation seemed pretty awkward, Kim. How was your lunch, Kim? So far, almost everyone who has tried it hates it. It makes people angry. I haven't tried it, and I already hate it. Yes. All right, coming up, we have some tips that you don't want to miss, like why you might want to be wrapping your car keys in tin foil. We have some free and cheap police scanners that you're going to want to check out. And what's happening with the TikTok ban? And what if you have videos on there? What is going to happen to all of your videos? Then, of course, we just have the best callers in the history of talk radio and the best host. That would be me, Kim Komando.
Have your monthly debt payments become unmanageable? You have options other than bankruptcy. A consumer proposal can help you repay your debts in a single monthly payment that fits your budget. Schedule a free confidential consultation with a local MNP licensed insolvency trustee today. Together, we'll review your options for a financial fresh start and decide whether a consumer proposal is right for you. Call us at 310-DEBT or visit us online at mnpdebt.ca.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-DEBT.
Okay, it is absolutely the last chance for you to enter to win a $1,000 vacation gift card. This is it, okay? If you don't enter now, your chance will be up. Why? Because the contest is ending, silly. So here's what you need to do. Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com. Just give us your email address. You get a couple of issues of my free newsletter. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe, but you're going to love it. You know what? We have a 4.94 rating out of 5 stars for the Currents. That's the name of my newsletter. Anyway, to enter to win, go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. All right, let's start with Jim in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi there, Jim.
How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, I just wanted to let you know what's going on right now is I need to watch an entire episode on how to change the battery in a AirTag.
Yes, you do. You need to watch that.
Well, I actually tried to pry it off like you do a watch. It doesn't work that way. So I got online and realized you screw them off.
Yes. We actually have the steps on how to do that over at our YouTube channel.
But they're actually still not easy. Even when you do it the right way, if you've got slippery fingers, you're not going to get that thing open.
Well, what you don't want to do is over-engineer it. You know?
You're right.
Okay.
I think maybe I did that.
Yeah, because sometimes we look at, especially when things are designed by Apple, I have a tendency to do this too. That's why I'm telling you this, is that you're like, oh, I have to do it this way. And then, so you're trying to do it like your way. And then you're like, oh, no. I have to think like an Apple engineer would.
Well, there you go. Well, I enjoy your show. You're one of my two first thing in the morning things. I read your newsletter, and I read 1440, which I may have learned about from your newsletter.
Awesome. Great.
And Amazon likes you because I buy stuff on Amazon from your show, too. But I usually pick up a tip or two every day.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
And one of the things recently you had said, have a unique password for everything. Now, what I have is I've got a sheet of paper over my desk here that has got cryptic password hints for everything in the world, which is probably cool. It works. But I also have many of them use the same password. And so I'm going, well, how on earth do I create unique passwords that don't drive me crazy? And I found an article back in 2019, and I haven't found anything since that says, is there a way to manage? I use Nord Password right now, and it seems to work. But then as far as a password for each account, what do you do?
Well, you've got a couple of ways to do this. You can use a password manager, like you are, or you can use your noggin. And the way that you use your noggin is that you come up with a phrase. Like, say, for example, I'm kind of hungry. Missed my lunch today. I love tomato soup with grilled cheese sandwiches, or something like that.
Yes, and I do.
Okay, so instead of I as in I love, maybe use the number 1. Love is capital L-U-V. And then you shorten up tomato sandwiches to be TS, and that grilled cheese is then an ampersand, end, and then you do like a G, and then a C, and then maybe a Z, whatever it may be. So you come up with a phrase that love, and remember. And then you give it a unique twist at the end. Okay? And that unique twist at the end allows you to have a unique password for every single site, because you're going to give it something different at the end. And so that end could be a certain year with a dash with something else that And so you see how we're coming up with longer passwords. Okay.
Sure.
And then maybe it's unique to that site. So let's say it's a Yahoo password. So maybe it's a capital Y with 2 O's. And so you start making each site password unique, but you're able to remember it because of the passphrase. And the unique characters that you've given that passphrase makes it more difficult to guess, because you're going to be using upper lowercase letters, unique characters and symbols and things like that. Now, the good news is that passwords are on the way out. Yes. Because now we have pass keys. Coming up in our free newsletter, we're defining what exactly a pass key is and the steps that you can do it. But basically, it has to do with your biometrics and utilizing your phone, and also Authenticator apps. And so if you don't already get our free newsletter, make sure that you sign up over at getkim.com, because we're talking more about pass keys, I'm thinking like over the next week. So if you sign up now, you're not going to miss it. And that's over at getkim.com. And Jim, thank you for your call today. Hey, by the way, if you are using 1Password, that's the name of the program, 1Password Manager on a Mac, this is super important. Make sure that you get the latest update, or else someone can just hack you and get all of your passwords. Again, it's the program, the number 1Password. If you're using it on a Mac, make sure that you update it like now. All right, let's see Paul in St. Paul, Minnesota. Funny how that works.
I took a trip last week, 200 miles each way in Minnesota, and I would have loved to have known where to stop for the best gas prices as I drove along. And I found one gas station 30 cents cheaper than all the others along the route.
Wow.
And that was 10% of the price.
Yeah.
And I thought with the holidays coming, well, first of all, I couldn't find on Google Maps how to do that. And I looked on Waze, and they needed you to drive 100 miles before they even gave you the option to look at gas prices. So I don't know what Waze offers. But Waze is owned by Google Maps.
Correct.
Google. So I would have thought that Google Maps would have this option. But with the holidays coming up, a lot of people are going to be driving 100, 200 miles, visiting friends, relatives. I'm sure other people, listeners, could also use a tip how you can look ahead. And if you know your car holds 10, 15 gallons, and if you know you're getting about 10, 20 miles to the gallon, you can start looking for gas prices along the way where
Sure.
you might want to tank up. So I just was hoping that you guys might have some tips.
Well, you want to look at Gas Buddy. You know, everybody knows that that's been around for a long time. It really is designed to give you the cheapest gas prices. But inside there, on their website, they have, Gas Buddy has Plan a Trip. And so that's where you can enter in where you're coming from, where you're going, that you want to stop, say every hour or so, hour and a half, whatever it may be. And then it's going to show you the best spots to stop for gas. So that this way...
So I can't do that on the app on my phone?
You know what? I'm not sure if it's available on the phone yet. I know it's available on the website. So if it's not available, if it's not available on the app, then you might have to go to the website. Okay.
Okay.
But then, so while you're driving, it will show, Gas Buddy does show the gas prices along your route. Okay. Now with Google Maps, it's not really, like you said, it's not really made for this. It's not. You know, you can search for local gas stations. It will show you gas stations around your route, but it's not going to pick the cheapest gas. For the cheapest gas, that's where we always go back to Gas Buddy. I mean, you know, people have tried to compete against Gas Buddy for years, but they can't just because they just have the whole market wrapped up. So check out Gas Buddy. Like I said, on the website, I do know that they have Plan a Route, and it might be in the app right now. I'm not sure because I haven't used the app for a while. But again, just check the website and the app. Again, what you want is Plan a Trip feature. And Paul, thank you so much for your call, because you're right. A lot of people are going to be traveling during the holidays by car, and gas is so expensive that we want to make sure that we always get the cheapest gas wherever we're going. And thank you for your call. All right, let's move along. Let's talk about your iPhone. If you're running out of storage space on your iPhone has a secret setting that you're going to love, and you're going to want to immediately turn this on. Okay, there are a few steps, so just try to follow along. Okay, the first step is to make sure that you're using iCloud or Google Photos to safely store your precious photos and videos in the cloud. Why? Because your photos stored in the cloud are a high-resolution, full-size image, and these just take up a boatload of space. So on your iPhone, you can store low-resolution copies of your photos and videos. See, this is stuff that you don't know about anywhere else except here on the Kim Komando Show. Now, these take hardly any storage space, but when you need a full-size image, you can just download it from your cloud storage account, see? And you're probably not even going to notice the change. So your iPhone will reduce the size on the files that you access the least. Okay, here's how. You're going to open your settings, go into Photos, and then it says Optimize iPhone Storage. See, some things do make sense. This tells your iPhone to keep only low-res copies of pictures and videos, but to send high-res versions right to the cloud. Oh, yeah, that's a good one right there. All right, still to come, I have a great tip about free and cheap police scanners and what's going on with the TikTok ban you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show.
Have your monthly debt payments become unmanageable? You have options other than bankruptcy. A consumer proposal can help you repay your debts in a single monthly payment that fits your budget. Schedule a free confidential consultation with the local MNP licensed insolvency trustee today. Together, we'll review your options for a financial fresh start and decide whether a consumer proposal is right for you. Call us at 310-DEBT or visit us online at mnpdebt.ca.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-DEBT.
So, yeah, I don't know if you heard, but this past week, the House of Representatives banned ByteDance. Okay, ByteDance is the parent company of TikTok, And they have other programs like Lemonade and CapCut. So people who work for the House of Representatives can't use any ByteDance programs on their devices. Now, this is really interesting. This is where it starts, and then it goes into the Senate, and then suddenly we're talking about a whole ban of ByteDance. And of course, they do own TikTok, as you know. Later on, we'll talk about what's going on with that ban and what to do if you have some content that you have posted on TikTok or that you have saved that you really want to keep forever. All right, before we get to that and all of your phone calls, let's talk about wrapping your keys to your car in aluminum foil. True or false? Good idea. All right, here's the deal. If you have a fairly recent car, the days of fumbling around with your car keys are over because of what? Key fobs. Yes, those remote keyless system electronics that are just built into the car recognizes radio signals coming from a fob. Now, here's the deal. You know it. As long as you have the key fob a few yards away from your car, you can use the fob to unlock the car, open the trunk, close the windows, even start the car. With my car, I don't even have to touch the button. I just walk towards it with the fob, and then it just opens up. Now, here's the problem. Car thieves are using signal boosters. So even though your keys are in your house, thieves can remotely unlock your car. Gosh, crazy, isn't it? Start it and then just drive away. So what can you do? Well, you need to block the key fob signal, and that's where a signal booster comes in because it's not going to work with it. So the answer is true. You can wrap your car's key fob in aluminum foil when it's in the house. But better yet, what I've done is you line a small box with foil and put it where you would normally put your keys. And then since foil is a conductor of electricity, it'll totally block the radio waves and stop the car thieves. Seems like every other day, right? They just have some new scheme to steal from us. Oh. Kathy in Chicago, Illinois, glad to have you with us.
I have a bunch of pictures and videos that I want to save permanently outside of the computer. So on some kind of a permanent device. And I was reading one of the newsletters, and it said, call Kim. I thought, well, heck, I'll just do that. So I did. I'll be doggone, I'm talking to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So when we start talking about permanent storage, it's a tough route right now because you remember zip drives, right? You mean that technology's gone? Cassette tapes, 8-track tapes, hard drives. We've got solid state drives. And it used to be, the advice used to be is that you would take from one device to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation, next generation. And when you use the word permanent storage, there is a DVD, and I'm happy to send you a link to it, along with the DVD player, that says that it's going to be able to store your videos and your photos for 1,000 years. Think about that, Kathy. 1,000 years. Okay.
That's all I need.
All right. Where were we 1,000 years ago? Think about that. Right?
To go into a previous lifetime to remember that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Nothing.
1924. Okay. We had cars, right? Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
We had some type of military warfare, guns. Not really, nothing like we have now. Think about how much life has changed over the last 1,000 years. We couldn't go to Chicago O'Hare and look up and say, I'm going to Singapore today. I mean, it'd be unheard of, right? So
3 months.
So I'm reluctant to believe anything that's going to be saved for 1,000 years, but they say that it will be. And so if you want to use these DVDs, I encourage you to use them. And or include with your estate documents the device that will play the DVDs. And hopefully in 1,000 years, there'll be a way to do that. I mean, we do have phonograph records that we can still hear today.
Right. And we can still play cassettes.
Yes, we can still do those. They're not quite 1,000 years old yet. Okay. Recently in the studio, we had a camera operator and we were talking about mixtapes, and he leaned over and he's like, what's a mixtape? I'm like, oh, forget it. Just...
How do you even explain that? Did you hear about the guy whose kids, probably this is a joke, but his kids wanted to do an escape room. So he put them in a room with a rotary dial telephone and cursive instructions. And it took them 2.5 days before they could get out.
Okay, really? No, that has to be. I can't believe that.
Joke.
Unless they were all on TikTok the whole time, they didn't even know where to look. But anyway, so that said, what I would do is I would set up for your videos a YouTube channel, private YouTube channel. Upload all your videos, and your state documents. You say where the channel is and how to access it. Okay. Because with Google owning YouTube and YouTube having so many videos out there, it's highly unlikely that at the end of 1,000 years, that there's between now and 1,000 years, rather, that there's not going to be something in the middle of all that. And for your photos, archival paper, that works. As well as you could create video slideshows and put them up on YouTube as well.
Oh, there you go. Video slideshows. I never considered that I could have my own YouTube channel.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Oh,
really simple to use. It's free. We love that. Even if you had a whole bunch of audio files, a lot of people don't know this, is that with YouTube Music, you can store up to 100,000 songs for free. Wow. So if you have some just audio only files, of course, you can put those on YouTube as well. But let's say, you have a whole bunch of mix sessions that you have and you don't want to lose those. Keep in mind, you can store those over at YouTube Music as well. Kathy, thank you so much for your call today. All right. You're home alone when suddenly police lights just swarm your neighbor's house. You want to see what's happening, but you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to really get in the way. Now, you could buy a real police scanner, but that's going to set you back around $100. But better yet, you can try a police scanner app or website. Now, one popular choice is Scanner Radio. The app lets you listen to live audio from thousands of fire and police scanners all across the nation. You can set up notifications when a scanner has more than 2,000 listeners. That means that something's going on. Now, another option is Broadcastify.com. They say that this is the world's largest source of public safety live audio streams. You can just visit their website and browse and search for your desired feed, and then just click play to listen live. You can create an account too. And so that's the app Scanner Radio or the site Broadcastify.com. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls as well as what's going on with the TikTok ban and your videos here on the Kim Komando Show.
Have your monthly debt payments become unmanageable? You have options other than bankruptcy. A consumer proposal can help you repay your debts in a single monthly payment that fits your budget. Schedule a free confidential consultation with the local MNP licensed insolvency trustee today. Together, we'll review your options for a financial fresh start and decide whether a consumer proposal is right for you. Call us at 310-DEBT or visit us online at mnpdebt.ca.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-DEBT.
All right, Nick in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi there, Nick.
Hey, Kim. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the information you provide. So many, and it's just so useful and helpful. But also to your great staff there. The interactions with them have just been amazing. But I want to say thank you all for that. But I got a quick question. I'm looking for some help on some. I take a lot of notes using my iPhone, the 14 Pro Max, using that app, guest notes that's in there. And unfortunately, I'm just typing or I have to keep my phone up to my mouth to speak into it. Just wonder if there's an easier way of using notes, maybe through a microphone or something like that. Currently, I work in a retail environment, so I'm walking constantly. And just looking for an easier way to be able to send my information to notes without sitting there and type.
Well, I'll tell you, that Notes app, I think it's one of the most underrated apps that's available on your phone. It's so handy. It's so great. It is. It's wonderful. I use mine all the time, especially folks, if you've never used it, you should just try it. Even to scan documents. It will be a whole document scanner. Really, really powerful thing right there on your phone. What I'm going to recommend is a wireless lav mic. And so it's a mic that you're going to put on your shirt collar.
Okay.
And there's no wires, and then it just plugs into the phone's power port. and they're about $25. And it works really, really well. And because it's so close to on your collar, the audio recordings are going to be pretty darn good. And even if you're doing just voice to text or whichever one you're doing, that you'll find that the accuracy of that's going to be pretty much better than if you're holding the phone up to your mouth, which is like so annoying.
It is.
Right? It's like,
it is, and beats trying to type all of this stuff in the process. So,
and let me tell you, it's not a good look. It's not just walking around talking into your phone. So hang on the line, Nick, and Maddie's going to give you a link to. I'm going to recommend the May Besta is the line. It's a cordless omnidirectional condenser recording mic. A lot of people use it for interviews, and it's on sale. I think it's on sale right now for about $25. It used to be, I think it was, I don't know, $50. It's like 50% off or something going on right now. I'm not sure why, but it's a really, really great lav mic. And Nick, thank you for your call. Let's go over to Arizona. Craig in Buckeye, Arizona. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, Kim Commander. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. What's going on?
Before I ask my question, can I tell you that the woman that was going overseas and you paid for her laptop and her airfare, I thought that was awfully nice of you.
Oh, thank you. She was a missionary, right?
Right. I saw it on the podcast, I believe.
Yeah, she was a missionary heading over to Jerusalem and Jordan. And, I call those our random acts of kindness. So.
Well, I thought it was very, very nice of you.
Oh, that's sweet. So how can I help you?
Okay, I've heard you speak of the VPNs in the past about so your keystrokes and stuff aren't spied on and people can't hack. And I was just wondering if that's true, if it's how effective they are they necessary, and just any information I could get on that.
Well, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. Okay. Think of it like a middleman between you and the internet. And so what you do is you fire up a VPN, and then before your data goes out on the internet, it goes through this encrypted tunnel. So everything's kind of mixed up. So the whole idea is that if, for example, if you're on public Wi-Fi and there's a hacker or a person sitting there running a shadow network, meaning that they can capture every single keystroke that you put into your computer. If you're doing it on a VPN, then they won't be able to capture every keystroke. Okay. It also allows you to say that you are located someplace else. So when you sign into a VPN, you pick a server. So you could be in Los Angeles or you could be in London. Doesn't matter. And so if you have a VPN and you're trying to maybe watch some more Netflix that maybe content's not available in the United States, is that you can select London and then you see new content. A friend of mine was renting a car somewhere, speaking of, in the UK, and she was complaining to me about how much it cost, about $950 for 4 days. And so I told her, I said, you know what? Why don't you just fire up a VPN. Instead of saying that you're in Santa Barbara, California, say that you are in that town, Manchester, and see how much it would be for you to rent the car when you get to Manchester. Instead of saying that I'm in Santa Barbara, I'm going to have to get to Manchester. So she said she was located in Manchester using the VPN. And magically, that price of that rental car went to like $325. So, and then you also get to be anonymous because it will mask your IP address. And speaking of your IP address, is that then as you go out on the internet, you're not going to be tracked. So, who really needs to use VPNs? People who are really concerned about their privacy. Maybe people who travel a lot. Not maybe, yes, because also, I use a VPN even when I'm using the airplane's Wi-Fi. Because there have been cases where people on the airplane can get other people's data. And if you want to watch streaming content, like I mentioned in other countries, you can also do that. Now, you got free VPNs and you've got paid VPNs. Never, ever, 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 ever. Did you get the point? You never want to use a free VPN, never. Because if you think about it, you are putting in your most sensitive data with that VPN, your banking passwords, right? Okay. Your account credentials, everything that you do on your computer. If you are using a free VPN, there have been so many that have been tied to communist China. So you're giving your information to anybody who wants to get it. And so maybe the VPN's located in Europe. Maybe it's located in South America. I don't care where it is. Okay. That's why you need to pay for a VPN. And the VPNs, they cost anywhere between, I don't know, maybe $2 a month to $14 a month, depending upon which one that you want. But if you are looking at the higher priced ones, is that they generally work faster. It used to be when you use a VPN that you'd be like, oh gosh, it's so slow. I don't care. Have my data. Take it. I can't stand it. It doesn't work that way anymore. Of course, our VPN of choice here at the Kim Komando Show is ExpressVPN. You get 3 months free on a 1-year package. In case you want to check it out, it's at expressvpn.com/Kim. Craig, thanks for your call. Hey, if you ever have a question for me here on the show and you're just too shy to come on a big-time radio show and podcast, I get that. Head over to komando.com with a K, of course. That's komando.com. And there's a link there that says Ask Kim. I read every single note that you send me. So ByteDance, the owners of TikTok, the message is clear. They have to sell the app to a U.S. company or else face a nationwide ban. Why? Because everything that you do on TikTok is sent back to the communist Chinese government. But what if you're a TikToker who made a bunch of videos? Okay, if TikTok gets the boot, those videos will too. So that's why you need to save them. Head over to your TikTok profile page, and then you're going to find settings and privacy. Then you want to look for the option that says download your data. Just click that. TikTok will send you an email with a link to get a copy of all your stuff. You just download the file, you unzip it, and boom, all your videos will be in the videos folder on your device or your computer. Speaking of, my grandma, she started sharing her recipes on TikTok. Now she's on OnlyNans. Ho, ho, ho. Make sure that you enter to win that gift card at winfromkim.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One with pico and creamy chipotle ranch, and the other with bacon and avocado ranch. Chicken expert since 1990. Taco expert since now. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.